So just met these two gentlemen at the local Airsoft show here in Japan, and we're using the opportunity to talk a little bit about the difference between the Western Airsoft community and the Japanese one.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Mayday Airsoft, and we have Stuart.
Yeah, Defrowe Airsoft.
From the experience that you had, what would you say is the biggest differentiator between these two communities?
Play style.
Yeah.
How you wish I would play style. So Japan is called survival game, and you have one life. So, like we were talking before, you pay $30 to go play, and if you get shot in the first round, you sit out, and you're sitting out for X amount of minutes, whatever. So that creates this mentality of playing your life and being very careful and campiness.
All campiness, all happiness.
Very campy. There's also a what's the word? There's no cheaters either.
There's no cheaters. People call their hits. There's no direct interaction with other players. You can't say I hit you or anything like that. Like, you talk to your team, you don't interact with the other team. So there's just no problems when you play Airsoft here. It's beautiful. There's no fight, no argument.
Super civilized. And the Japanese invented the sport, and it's based on honor system, right? And you think because that's how their culture is, right? It's just like honor, respect, non-confrontation. It's actually explicitly in the rule set when you're getting debriefed, like, do not call out cheaters, do not yell at them, don't even like swear when you're like on the field.
Oh yeah, it's the no four letter words is like the rule, how they word it.
Yeah, so like don't, like, even if you're like on the field, they'll say, whatever, they'll be like, yo, okay, like chill, because like it kind of, it doesn't ruin the environment, but it's like,
it ruins the vibe.
Yeah, it becomes aggressive, and they don't want that. So it's all about having fun and being safe is a big thing.
Yeah, I was shocked when I was at Tenku last time because there was this Japanese player and he was just getting really, really into it. He's like, let's go. And he's swearing. He's like, oh, you'll never take me alive. F you, F this. I'm like, this is hilarious. I love every minute of this. No one else enjoyed it.
Yeah. I've noticed in like YouTube videos, whether it's your videos or like J-Drek or even Jag, like a lot of the, I guess the European community is all like military, like everybody got the military gear, plate carriers, BDU. And then here, people just come in a t-shirt. Like, like everyone, like the standard meta is literally backwards hat, eye pro, the beginner mask, but they cut off the bottom part so that covers their mouth only.
They cut off the cheeks.
Yeah, they cut off the cheeks only. They wear a black shirt with a long sleeve spandex or whatever.
Under Armour.
Yes, the Under Armour. Yeah. They wear shorts. They got the ARP9. They got a high cap magazine, and that's it. Nobody.
And the stock has to be over the shoulder.
The stock's over the shoulder. Like, so a lot of the builds in Japan are like efficiency, very lightweight.
I'm very impressed.
Oh, they take the recoil out of the NGRS as well. That's all.
Yeah,
they buy the NGRS and they immediately use the recoil on it.
Yeah, so they take out the recoil so you can get a higher rate of fire. And they actually do it because they like the receiver. Apparently the receiver is so sought after for the NGRS guns. So it's like, it's very weird. And there's actually a surprising amount of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked, like when I got my NGRS secondhand, the recoil had been taken out of it.
Yes.
And the bolt stop had been taken out.
Yes.
So what the heck? It just became just a regular gun. It's like, why bother? Why ruin this thing?
What the fuck? Like, I don't understand. So are they think the receiver is better?
Yeah, that's what my tech said. He's like, the receiver is like really well built and it's good for like customizing. So I don't know why that's what they buy it for that. I don't know why.
I have no clue.
They're really low football in Europe, actually. I mean, I thought they were in the UK.
In the UK,
they are.
The price
outside of the UK, you don't find an NGRS at all.
Really?
I've found it in Austria.
I've seen one or two floating around America, but
sometimes, but they're really low popular.
They're so expensive over there.
Yeah, I think it's not just price; it's also like it gives you a worse trigger response because of the weight that gets moved, and the recoil is not satisfying.
It's enough. You might as well use gas, right?
Exactly. It's like, you know, it's not snappy, but it also doesn't give you a satisfying kick. So it's like weird thing in between that doesn't really fulfill any desire.
What BBs are you using? Like the weight?
We are running, well, at sniper rifles, we go usually up to 40 more. Or
yeah, NGRS is not pushing that out.
But, well, we run that on sniper rifles, The AGs, people go 30, max 32s, I would.
Oh, yeah.
That's not low five.
The max here is 25.
25.
The meta is 2 zeros or 2 5s.
Yeah. 28 on bolt.
28 on bolts. So, like, your beaters are just kind of flying everywhere. Like I can't imagine even fathoming shooting 30s. Like I'm watching these videos, people in UK like with their NGRS guns or whatever. It's like, yo, how come the BBs are like shooting people across the map? Like mine doesn't do that because like, oh, dude, because they're using 3.0s or 3.2s. It's like, damn.
And they definitely changed the spring.
And they change out the spring and they would do whatever, right? But for us, it's just like
45 meters. That's all you get.
30 meters. You kind of zero for 30 meters, and that's it. That's why motorities are so popular because like for Japan's limits and the way the fields are designed and the engagements you get into, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah, of course.
So all you're really doing for even my AJRS gun, like all I did is throw tighten so it doesn't lock up, and that's it. And then you can probably shorten the trigger or whatever. I'm probably the only guy in the whole group that like swears by AJRS guns. Like I love that shit.
Dan loves it. Everything he has is NGRS.
He also does too. He does too. I love it too because I like real count. I shoot real count, and I also
7 rounds in your 1911.
7 rounds in my 1911 and 30 rounds in my MP5.
And now, for a quick commercial break, introducing Poppins patches. Express yourself like never before with their wide range of patches. From political statements to two-way culture, pop culture icons to prehistoric dinosaurs, they've got it all. And if they don't have it, they can make it. Since they also do custom patches. Want a patch for your team? Or have a cool idea for a patch? Hit them up. I guarantee you'll be impressed with the results. And don't forget, their iconic tactical tricon hats. Not only do these hats provide shade and make you stand out from the crowd, they also have Velcro so you can add a patch. Visit poppinspatches.com today and use code ABOLISHATF to get 15% off everything in the store. Okay, back to the podcast.
Can you tell me more about? So you said they're very honorable and they just never cheat, right? What else do you find interesting? Because when you go to Canada or to the US, I mean, people go into competitions all the time, right? Like it even became like a video theme, right?
Yeah.
Let me just capture that part of the game because that's really popular. Right. So besides being so honest and that there are no conflict at all, what else did you find that's different here?
Well, there's no milsim in Japan.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure there is one or two around.
There is one event once a year. There's one.
Yeah, but it's how do I say it? Like I find there's like 4 types of like airsoft worldwide. Like you have like skirmish or like pickup games and stuff like that. Then you have milsim and LARP based games. Then you have speedsoft, and then you have tac range. And those are kind of like the 4 different avenues you can get into an airsoft. And in Japan, there seems to be like a new style of airsoft, which I like to call slow QB because I hate it. And for slow QB, there is a large amount of fields where you're not allowed to run. You can only walk.
That's right. That is different.
I feel it.
Yep.
4 years ago, I played in I think it was like Calvert.
And I can't play it. It's too stressful for me. I want to.
You can't run.
I can't run. I can't run. I can't dash. I can't even move between cover, and it's just boring. And you can only fire 3 rounds, and then you have to take a 3-second break before you can fire again. So you can't use suppression or any other tactics. You basically just have to one-ball people. And then when you're in a situation like that, and someone has a plate carrier on, or someone has a helmet on, and you have to use 0.2 BBs, and then you can't even use stock guns. So if my NGRS stock is 93, and a lot of these fields are 80, only 80 meters per second. So you actually need to put a device on the front of the gun that makes it less powerful. And then if I'm just wearing a t-shirt and you shoot me for 0.2 from like 20 meters at 80 meters per second, unless you're like hitting skin or something, I'm probably not really going to feel it. If it hits any like plate or like if I'm wearing a hoodie, you don't feel it at all. So I would play like just in a t-shirt just so I could feel something. And there's lots of cheaters in this situation, but people aren't cheating intentionally. It's just they're playing at such a weak setting that unless you're playing the game naked, you are not going to call hits.
Right.
But I'm surprised to hear that because when you get shot by a one-shot gun, you do feel it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Well, you're shooting at distances sometimes. A lot of the cheaters either happen to be dudes who are so old that they literally just cannot feel.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, like it's so old they just can't feel what's going on.
We shot him so many guys.
I know the CCP guy or whatever the hell. And that guy, like, you just cannot feel it, or they're noobs and they just don't know what's going on.
They're so high on adrenaline.
Yeah, so like you shoot them, they go, ah,
Yeah.
and they don't know what's going on. So you're like,
And
I don't
very-
call them out. I just like, I want to shoot you more. I want to add more hit markers in my video, so I'm just gonna keep shooting you. You know what I mean? And speaking of noobs and the types of players, the community is a little bit different. That there really isn't this sense of elitism.
Yeah.
Elitists. They're like, oh, my gear's better than you. I've served for 4 years. Like, none of that. There's none of that.
Oh.
Everyone is just like, yo, your gun is so cool. Oh, I really love your gear. Like, I love what you've done with your thing. I've never had anyone talk shit about any of my loadout. Anything I do, they're just like, yo, that's so cool.
It's a great fun. It's like a car meet or something like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's just walking around, like complimenting each other on their gear. But also, a lot of people just don't socialize.
Yeah.
Like when I go to a public game, there might be 50 people there, and then there's 50 tables. Everyone sits at their table.
Yep.
They don't talk to the person next to them. They don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And then I'll like walk around and say, like I'm a YouTuber and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I love your gun. They're like, oh, cool. And then as soon as I talk to them, their eyes light up. They show me the gun, like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, oh, it's nice. And then I make a lot of friends that way. But no one really comes up to me.
Yeah.
And I don't see people talking to each other. People stay in their groups, and they'll probably play like with a group of 5 or something like that. So they'll all chat in their group.
Yeah.
But Group A doesn't normally talk to Group B.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting.
Like, you build that camaraderie on the field. Like,
Yeah.
like you meet each other in CQBs, like, all right, let's go. Right? You meet that dude who's like super into T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So you kind of go and then you kind of work together and you kind of like pie this room and do all that stuff. And then you have that interaction, do the high five, and then you'll become buddies for like the rest of the day. But after that, it's like, I'm not talking to this guy anymore.
But that happens so often.
Yeah, it's like it's like single. It's like when you go out for a night of drinking and
It's a
you're
single serve friend.
yeah, and you just meet those dudes at the bar. You have a good time. It's like, yeah, let's hit each other up, but you never hit each other up again.
Oh my god,
During the game, there is conversation.
There is conversation.
To the safe zone, it's like,
Yeah, like people are just in their own circles doing their own thing. So, yeah, in the community that just reflective of Japanese culture, where like everyone just has their circles. They don't really want to go outside that.
And now for a commercial break. Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than Jefe's Airsoft Solutions. The founding principle of Jefe's Airsoft Solutions is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is making a difference in local communities and serving each of their customers with the utmost respect. Become part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow airsofters in their Discord server. There, you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Join us today and start enjoying all that Jefe's Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together, we can make a difference in our community. And for listeners of the podcast, tap into the power of the code Defrowe10 and save 10% on your next purchase at jefesairsoft.solutions.com. Some exclusions apply. The more you use the code, the more it helps the podcast. Okay, back to the podcast.
Airsoft is an expression of freedom. So it's like that you can be whoever you want, do whatever you want. No one's gonna judge you. We're all fucking nerds on a piece of grass, right? So I'm just like,
No one's a cooler nerd.
no one's a cooler nerd, and the nerdier you are, the cooler you are.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? So yeah, it's very different. It's also very male dominated as well. So we're all just like dudes. And it's actually, I don't know if you know this, but there are some fields where girls can play for free or they pay less.
Oh, we have that game. That's our next game is Girls Play for Free.
Yeah, girls play for free. There's some fields where it'll be like $35 for a male and then 25 for girls.
Oh, no, that's basically every field.
Yeah, basically every field, girls have to pay for less because they want to basically increase the amount of girls who can play Airsoft.
I remember before Corona,
Yeah.
because I've been playing for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And like at the start, it was really just guys only. But in the last like 5 years before Corona, we saw a real increase in the number of girls, females, women playing Airsoft. And it was great. You show up to a game with like 50 people, and there'd be like 10 female players there.
Oh.
And they had great kit. Like they were decked out just as well as the guy players. They were doing a great job on the field. And it's like, this is great.
Cool. They tend to the girls that I've seen tend to go the UAB route, which is where backwards hat, mask, this sweater, ARP9, and that's it. That's a unique style to Japan. If you ever heard of UAB, so UAB is kind of like a mix of paintball style, and basically because the spaces in Japan are so small, and we have this no running meta, so basically you're forced to develop this play style where you're behind a barricade. Let me see. Food clear. So basically, instead, like let's say you have a lot of space in wherever you're playing, right? So like you could do the full like thing and kind of pie around, but here the spaces are so small, and you have no way to run because you're not allowed to run to get to that piece of cover. You're basically fighting like this. So you have let's say that Evangelion thing over there is when I'm fighting, it's just like this. So basically you go and you just kind of go like this, and you just keep shooting, do the crouch thing, and it's just like everybody has the gun like this, and it's just like this, and a lot of jiggle peeking, and it's just there's a whole thing. And there's a place called UAV Gym where they teach you that style specifically, and those guys are so annoying to fight because in Japan, believe it or not, people zero their optics because the distances are small, the guns are accurate, so like literally these motherfuckers will shoot you in the knuckle.
Yeah.
And if you can't get that first shot advantage where you go like this and shoot him in the knuckle, you will lose.
Yep.
Unless
you have grenades or...
Yeah, you have grenades. I just use grenades. But if they're there, like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to throw a grenade. Like, I'm not. Like,
which grenades?
we don't have pyro. There's no pyro. It's either the spring ones, which no one calls, so don't...
No one calls.
Or we have the apocalypse where it's a gas one and it spins around. And yes, and we also have the big pill, the delay one.
Yeah, we have the cyclone and the tornado.
The tornado too, with the gold, it has a delay timer. Yeah,
and early innovations.
Yes, and then no pyros, no smokes, no flashbangs, nothing like that. You're actually not even allowed to use distraction grenades at some point.
Yeah, one trick we love to do at fields where it's allowed is just to throw an empty magazine at people.
Yeah,
and like when someone's in cover, you're like, grenade out, and you just throw an empty magazine behind them, and they're like, what?
And then
you rush them.
Yeah,
it's great. I love that.
It works well because it's also so easy, right?
Yeah,
you have it here already. It's empty anyways, right?
Yeah. And then I'd say what else is different about Japanese community is there's the lack of snipers.
Wait, there's no snipers.
Yeah, if you're sniping, it's basically a CQB shotgun.
My sniper and my pistol have the same range. They're both 50 meters.
Yes.
Are they running them all?
Some people do. Like Rio, 0.98 joules. Like he's like you basically. Like he loves your stuff, right? So he's probably the only guy I know who does like actual sniping with the ghillie and everything. Is like just trying to snipe people.
Yeah, when I play at the what I find is when we go to outdoor fields like bushland fields and stuff like that, the snipers, this may sound ageist or something, are the old guys.
Oh, they are the old guys.
And lots of old guys play Airsoft, and old for me is like 60 or 70 years old.
Yeah.
And they will be basically in this no kit. They'll just be having like maybe BDU pants and just maybe like a black t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
Then that'll be it. There'll be very minimal gear. And then they'll have a VSR 10, but it'll be stockless. And it'll just be, and then it'll be like cut short barreled as well. So it's almost like a hare's foot.
Yeah.
And then they'll have like a red dot or something on that. And that's their gun.
They call it a day.
And then they'll play at the mid range or at the long range. And they'll just, all right, there's someone over there. All right. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't be in the they won't be in the thick of it. But I have been headshotted by them quite a few times.
There's the most popular upgrade for a VSR 10 in Japan is the shorter barrel to make it super short.
Yep.
And changing the stock so it's stockless.
Yep.
That's the most popular upgrade.
Stockless to which stock?
To the VSR. So like I saw one today where it's not at all. It looks like a fucking sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, a hare's leg.
Yeah, it's just like a regular thing, and then
is that an aftermarket stock you can buy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Lilacs makes it. Lilacs makes the short barrel for it. Like,
and there's lots of companies that are making a real wood one.
A real wood one.
That's the one you saw today.
It's the one they're making wood like the series.
Pandora Arms.
Yeah, Pandora Arms is making. Yeah, but like the most popular upgrade for snipers that I've seen is making them smaller and CQB. And the thing is, these dudes don't even bring a handgun with them.
Yeah.
That's also the thing of the Japanese community. Nobody really uses sidearms.
We use them just because it's fun, and you use it because
I have to.
You have OCD.
You mean ADD?
Yeah, you probably have both.
I don't know, probably. I use them, okay? Because I actually run out of bullets.
I love how Dan uses his handgun. So like we're in the hotel and something like that. When we're going down the stairs, we'll have like the 416 out, but then we have to squeeze for that little corridor and like breach the room. The pistol comes out, and it's just perfect. It's you couldn't use a rifle in that space. So switching the pistol is absolutely perfect. But apart from that one specific scene and you running out of ammo,
yes,
I've never had to draw my sidearm once.
See, that's why, bro. I'm probably the only one. I think I was talking to some of my buddies in the industry, and it's like, he's like, out of all the players I know, this guy used to work at Lilacs. Like, out of all, I've seen a lot of players in different industries or whatever. It's like, you're the only guy in my whole pool of network that plays real caps.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only guy. But it's actually viable to play real count here because it's one like game modes, and it's semi-auto. There's barely any full auto games unless you're doing Kashkiri, which is reserved games, chartered games. But everything is semi-auto. Everything.
And like when I play a semi-auto game, like if I'm using a 270 round PMAG or something,
Yeah.
I'm not reloading.
Yeah, see, that's for me. That's boring.
Yeah,
because like, what am I playing with the guns, or am I playing with a paintball or a laser blaster? Right? Like, I want to do all the mechanics. I got the MP5 to do the freaking MP5 slap, and if I have a 200 round magazine, I'm never gonna do it. So that was my big thing. That was my big thing for me. But yeah, the community is very passionate. They like what they like, right? And you have your camps where, see, look at this guy. See, this is the only thing you get slapped. Have you ever held one of these yet? Yeah, I love this thing, dude.
Is that the NGRS?
Is the NGRS?
you can smack the hell out of
Yeah,
it.
smack the hell out of that charging handle and it will not break.
I like how you put the cover here, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Slap the hell out.
And you actually need to slap it in order to start shooting again.
Yes,
Yes.
It is functional.
but there's an electronic trigger.
It also just rack it like this and it'll go. Has an ECU. That's ready to go, basically.
93 MPS out of the box with 0.92.
92, yeah, 93, 92. Which is very solid. Very solid. Now, if you made an MP5, I'd be willing to try it. MP5s are really popular. They made 3 of this gun.
There's 3 now. Yeah,
They
there's
made the A5,
A5,
the A4, and the SD. Because people love that MP5 so much. Most popular gun is probably the M4. Probably still, yeah. M4s and ICAPAs. And Glocks.
I don't know, like every airsoft game I go to, I just find a new gun.
Oh, you see one.
Like there's people like what they like.
They like what they like.
So like, Tama and stuff like that might have like his L85 or like a foul or something, and you have other people.
I noticed that too, like because the jewels in Japan are so low and the fields are so standardized that like every gun is viable.
Yeah.
Like you can use a janky G36, you can use whatever you want because basically everybody shoots the same.
Your friend, the one that loves the World War I cosplay,
Yes, Clark, yeah.
was running around Brave Point with a bolt action rifle that was as big as him.
Yeah. Everything's viable. The only thing that makes something unviable if it's too long, because a lot of the spaces are tight. So an SBR or something like that is probably the most viable thing. And I think even for your product lineup too, like a lot of those things would be pretty viable because it competes with, oh Jesus Christ, what is this? Hey, Sniper God, what do you think?
That's one of these old movies, right? That wants to do this.
Oh my God.
It's the PSG one. That's 20 years old. I got that as a present when one of my friends came to Japan, liked Sabage, played it once, bought the gun, went back to Australia, just left it here. I haven't used it since.
And she's really serious from Marie, but it's like semi-chill, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. I don't like that, yeah. I had the Type 89, the gas blowback, and even that handguard does that too.
You had no luck with your Type 89. You got gas purges all the time.
Yeah, the Type 89 is a flawed design. It turned out to be the short mag. Because the short mag doesn't seat up all the way completely, so that's why it fucks up the nozzle.
All right, we're gonna cut the talk right here.
Okay, right.
Well, thanks for the info. If you guys wanna check their channels out, gonna put it down below. And
any final thoughts?
Well, I really wanna play in a field where I can run in Japan because I only play in fields where I'm not allowed to run.
I gotta play outside.
Experience the other side.
Black Fox you can run.
Yeah,
Black Fox.
next time you're in Japan, hit us up and we'll take you out to some of the best fields where you can run around to your heart's content.
Yes, and snipe people at 30 meters. All right, thanks guys.
This episode is brought to you by Jefe Airsoft and Poppins Patches. Defrowe.